Hello, Libra. So before we begin your reading, I have two cards for you, one from Lay Vampire and one from Chakra Wisdom, and I really like what you pulled here. So from Lay Vampire, you pulled natural, authentic, real, and organic. This card speaks about not relying on ways of identifying yourself like through your job or your appearance or what your status is, that you need to really take a look within and be who you are naturally. And then with Discovery from Chakra Wisdom, this one speaks about not trying to recapture a past that does no longer fit you, does not fit you any longer. And this also speaks about needing to leave that past behind in order to have a new journey forward. And with these two, I feel like this is you discovering who you are naturally outside of limiting definitions, that you are more than that. Okay, Libra, here is the energy coming through. That is very nice to see. Very, very nice to see. When you look at that with natural, the Queen of Pentacles is somebody who's very in tune with themselves and their surroundings. And I really feel like this is your energy coming through, being who you are naturally. And here is this energy of being able to work with what you have, appreciating the things that you have around you, and enjoying nature. I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. And in the past, the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is about charging in quickly to a situation. This is looked at as the messenger with a pure message, but he may be delivering it in a harsh manner. Now, this could suggest that in the past you were charging in too quickly into a situation. And then, this could also show you being active and being courageous and brave. But these two are like in contrast. You have one that is movement, not going with the flow. And then this one is so in tune with their surroundings. So I feel like maybe in the past you charged into something just a little bit too quickly. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. In the present, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups are always about good opportunities coming through. And with the Ace of Cups, this has to do with love, romance, and creativity. But more importantly, this is about emotional fulfillment. Seeing this around you right now is beautiful. And, again, with that Queen in natural, you are rediscovering who you are. And it's so beautiful. Where in the past it was like, critical thinking, charging forward. And now it's like you're taking a minute to tap into that beautiful nature of being in tune with yourself and your surroundings. And here are these beautiful, beautiful opportunities coming through to you now. Wow. Future conditions. The Emperor. Oh my goodness. The Emperor, this is the card of Aries. This is all about order, power, and structure. This is about getting your house in order and looking at, where your past leads into future conditions. Yeah, that's a good sign. Where before you may have been just charging through arrogantly, now you're a little bit more wise about what you're doing and where you're going. And you're getting your shit together, which is really nice to see. Now, this could also suggest possibly a relationship with an Aries. Maybe. But looking at it as the advice behind the card, I feel like, you are making the changes that you need to, getting your house in order, really being in tune with who you are naturally. And here are these beautiful opportunities coming through. I love this. This is very beautiful. The best path to follow. The King of Wands. The King of Wands. This is looked at specifically as Sagittarius, but this could be any fire sign, and seeing that as your best path to follow. And again, I always say this, when you see readings with a king and a queen, this could suggest a relationship. And with that Ace of Cups there, But as your best path to follow, the King of Wands, this is telling you to be passionate, be driven, be wise, and go after the things that you want. Seek those new adventures. But, again, it's like being smart about it, having that wisdom, where before there's this feeling of a younger mentality and charging forward and not really caring about what's going on. Now everything's starting to change. But, yeah. And again, Sag and Libra, it's such a beautiful combination. And there's that Ace of Cups. Oh, shit. In your environment. Now, the very first thing that I started to feel as soon as that king showed up, the King of Cups. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, look at him. I feel like this may be just one person, but this person has many different sides to them. There's this fire side, and then there's this emotional side as well. So the King of Cups represents a water sign. This is somebody who is wise emotionally, very supportive, very loving, and very open. But the difference between him and the Queen of Cups is that the Queen of Cups will get too involved in other people's problems, where he's a little bit more wise about it. So, in looking again at these two kings, this could be the same person with different facets. Some fire and some water. Wow. Wow. But, looking at the King of Wands as your best path to follow, and look at him looking. Like, be passionate, be driven. And if this is somebody that you want, and they may be offering this to you, definitely go after it, but not in the way that you would have before. Oh my goodness. Your hopes and your fears. The Seven of Wands. And it makes sense to me. So the Seven of Wands, this is all about standing your ground and using your voice. This is about, I am not going to take any shit anymore. So where you may feel like there's a need to stand your ground, you're definitely using your voice. But, looking at it as a fear, it's almost like you want this person to know that, I'm not going to let you interrupt what I'm trying to do for me, basically. Especially when you look at natural and discovery, because you're looking at who you are and rediscovering that natural side to your personality and letting go of the past and the things that do not serve you. And that Seven of Wands is like, and it very much reminds me of Libra. Like, I'm not going to take any shit. I may be open to receiving this here, but I'm not going to let it disrupt my personal life and what I'm trying to do for me. Very nice. Very, very nice. So this one's a little bit different to me than like the Two of Cups showing up. So the Two of Wands actually connects back to the Magician. Now, the Magician has to do with the aces, but when you look at the Two of Wands, this is where the action starts to take place to go after the opportunities that are coming through. And this also speaks about creative and romantic partnerships. This, to me, is different than the Two of Cups, where the Two of Cups is like a really emotionally bonding kind of relationship. This is the active relationship. This is, we're going out, we're doing this together and doing that together. You're active and there's passion there. I feel like, looking at it this way, you're definitely getting back in touch with who you are. You're getting your house in order. And you're taking the action that's needed to do that, where before you were charging in without thinking about it. Now, and still you're like standing your ground. I'm not going to take any shit. You're not going to screw up what I'm doing for me here. But looking at that too, and I still feel like this is one person, but with multiple sides. There's that fire and that passion, but then there's also this emotional wisdom. And seeing that too, it's like, you could be taking action as well to start a new relationship or even strengthen one that you have. But, again, and I love this about Libra readings. and I've noticed this a lot, you guys do a lot of inner work. You do a lot of inner work. You look at who you are and you really think about it, and there are so many different sides to you, but you know who you are truly. And you know what you need to do to correct any issues that may be happening in your life. I mean, balance is your theme. You know how to create balance. And, looking at this, I really do think that there is a person in your environment, and looking at these two, yes, this could be romantic in nature. And there's this opportunity here to have this very fulfilling relationship with this person. But you're definitely in a position now where you want to make sure that who this person is knows that you're not going to disrupt my life. But it's like you're willing to make this partnership here. I like this reading. It's complex. But I like where it's going because you're still focused, regardless of whatever's going on relationship-wise, on you and what you want to do for you. And again, looking at natural, you are beyond those definitions. You are a beautiful person. You are so much more than what your job is, what your status is, how much money you have. You're more than that, so much more than that. And who you are naturally is beautiful. And you're discovering that. And it's like with that Seven of Wands, man, I ain't letting anybody mess this up because this is too beautiful. Having that inner work going on and realizing who you are, getting your house in order, where before, again, arrogantly charging through, you're taking such a different path here. I really like this reading. This reading is absolutely beautiful. I love it. You are really getting in tune with yourself and your natural self. And you are so beautiful, so beautiful. I love that the Queen of Pentacles is what pulled through for this. And you are definitely doing what you need to do some inner work. Where before you were charging forward and just not caring about what was going on, you're definitely changing big time. And you're getting your shit together, which is beautiful to see. And here's this opportunity coming through. And then seeing this. And then seeing this. So now, the King of Wands as your best path to follow. This is telling you to be wise about the things that you go after, that you're passionate about. And with the wand showing up the way it is, there's some fire and some drive there. But with this king, I feel like there's some different sides to him. And I really feel like whoever this person is here, they are offering something to you. And it may have to do with love and romance, especially when you see the Two of Wands pulling out on top. It's different than the Two of Cups, but it does suggest a partnership. And seeing this, yes. And then again, with what you pull in as, yes, it definitely suggests that this may be a relationship. Now, this could be a strengthening of what you have with someone right now, but, looking at the Ace, it could also suggest a new love opportunity coming through. Now, whoever this person is, again, I feel like they have different sides. There may be some fire and some water going on here. But again, the King of Cups being in your environment definitely suggests that there's somebody around you right now that may be offering you this love. Now, you're like, oh no, you are not going to mess up the things that I am doing for me. And I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Stand your ground. Don't let anybody disrupt what you are doing here, because what you are doing here is so beautiful. So beautiful. I love seeing this for you guys. And definitely be who you are naturally.